Welcome to In Your Element, the podcast that unlocks practical wisdom in higher education, where leadership meets real talk. I'm Brendan Hinkle, Manager of Solutions Engineering here at Element451.
And I'm Daniella Norden, Element451's Director of Customer Success and Engagement. Join us every other Thursday for discussions with everyday heroes using Element451 in enrollment, marketing, and student success. We'll unlock the practical tips to help you make waves on your campus.
In Your Element is a part of the Enrollify Network, a robust collection of podcasts designed to help higher education professionals like you grow. Explore our other shows at enrollify.org or check out some of my personal favorites linked in the show notes below.
Enrollify is made possible by Element451, the leading AI-powered all-in-one student engagement platform, helping institutions create meaningful, personalized, and engaging interactions with students. Learn more at element451.com.
What is going on, everyone? We are back with another episode of In Your Element. And man, do we have an incredible guest with us today. We have Brittany Meinssen, the Director of Admissions and Recruitment from College of The Albemarle. And there's a little secret I know here, right? I know that Brittany has implemented Element451 not once, but twice. So Brittany, I have to know, right? First off, thanks for being on the show. Second off, are you going into these like job interviews and you're like, all right, Element or Slate, or I'm not working with Slate, I have to work with Element. So what is the conversation,
bust.
right?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely the first question I ask. I don't care about anything else. You know, it's only what CRM are you using and can it please be Element?
That's absolutely PTO, forget it. Pay, who cares, right? Element451 or bust. I love it. I love that every single bit. So I'm just super excited to have you because, you know, we bring up College of the Albemarle so many times whenever we're talking to other schools, especially community colleges that may not have as many resources, may not be as big.
Mm-hmm.
And what you guys have been able to do and accomplish with Element451 and kind of change the trajectory of, you know, what you were seeing from a results perspective and a enrollment perspective has been really awesome to watch. So whenever you think about the biggest impact of using Element, specifically on things like internal communication and efficiency within your team, you know, what are some of those things?
Yeah, I mean, of course, the biggest one for me was the campus tours. Getting that implemented and actually having parameters that you can set and, you know, all those things, it really helped us in a way to where we could actually promote campus tours even more. But also, we had an outreach coordinator. And as a grant position, she only worked weekends and evenings. I do not always work weekends and evenings. So
Spoiler me either.
Right. So it was really nice to have Element for her to just be able to put in notes if she was having problems trying to log into like our actual systems. You know, Element was always there and had all the information as well. And so just being able to use that to contact people through email, through text, you know, it's just an extra opportunity. But it also allowed her to see we don't want a double effort. Having that communication internally probably helped us the most. And it wasn't me having to send an email of, we talked to these people today. Being able to just use Element in that way has been a huge help for at least my team internally.
I think this is one of the things that we often overlook is working asynchronously. So, you know, we think about admissions non-stop, nights, weekends, but you aren't there on nights and weekends. So having somebody who can leave those notes, who can communicate to those students, and then being able to come in the next day and see the work that's done or what needs to be done allows you to kind of deliver a 24/7 experience that the student doesn't really know is not a 24/7 experience. They think College of the Albemarle, we're going to call it COA because you guys are everybody makes
Danielle
fun of me.
has pronunciation problems.
Pronunciation. I'm not Southern, so I'm just going to roll the Albemarle in there. Whatever it is. They don't know that somebody isn't there at all hours.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And we have a lot of teams who are decentralized and struggle with how to pick up where other staff members have fallen off. Would you say that it helped increase your campus tour numbers or maybe engagement or interaction with the students, Brittany?
Definitely engagement. I mean, when you are an adult learner and you work the hours that we work, having someone call you in the evening and say, hey, just wanted to see if you needed help, or just wanted to follow up. She would tell me stories all the time, like in our team meetings of, yeah, they were just actually really happy to just speak to somebody. And, so it definitely made a difference with that. So it was really fun to see that and just see people get the service that they know they need, but sometimes they don't have the right schedule or, the right means to reach out. So that was very helpful.
Well, speaking of your adult learners, since you opened up the gate there, do you have any examples of how Element has helped streamline maybe that application, that enrollment process? And it can be your adult learner population, but maybe even, I know we talked about dual enrollment students too, but walk us through an example of how Element has helped with these student types.
So I have to give a shout out to my marketing team. They are phenomenal. We collab on pretty much everything. So it's really nice to have that collaboration. But we have been doing some targeted messaging of, if, say you were enrolled this semester, but you haven't registered for next semester, and having Element to just decipher that for us, or just to be able to put in a list of, here's these random people that we know we need to reach out. That targeted messaging aspect has really made it easier for our marketing projects. And we are really starting to set up those automated campaigns now, divided up into age groups or different things like that. So having Element just do all that work for us and not me having to go through every single report possible, it has made a difference, especially on the marketing side. Again, my team being able to communicate and me being able to differentiate between CCP and adult learners and Element. So that way, the outreach coordinator was able to say, I don't need to call these high school students, I can call these adult students, that kind of stuff. So it's just been able to do a lot of the take a lot of the manual work out of the process. But as far as something specific, I think the age group thing is what we're really getting into right now. And we are excited about that just because a 60-year-old doesn't need to know what an 18-year-old wants to know, they may be looking at something different. So I was just talking to somebody today right before we got onto this. He was an older gentleman in his 60s, and his wife is really wanting to look at coming back to school. And so he was going to surprise her as a Christmas present. I know, precious.
But my gosh, that's that's a Hallmark movie in the making.
Right.
Y'all.
And just being able to get his contact information and then have Element do some of the work. So over the holidays, if he needs something, stuff like that. So, that's just one example of how for adult learners, they may need something a lot different than a dual enrollment or CCP student. So
that's so sweet.
I know, right? I
love this.
I spent as much time with him as I could.
Yes,
so I was like, do you have any other questions?
This is the best episode we could record right before Christmas. The Christmas story and everything right along there.
Brittany, you mentioned your team too and reducing manual processes. I know last I talked to you, you actually have a team now, right?
Yes.
Before you were very lean, right?
Yeah.
And so how has that changed, if anything? How's that changed?
Well, of course, every person in any position wants to have a full team. It makes life easier.
Yeah.
But I know I'm biased, but I have the best team. And
of course, I wouldn't disagree.
No, I have the best team. No, I have the
exactly. But having all those positions filled has allowed me to start looking at how to delineate different tasks on Element to where it's not all coming to me.
Yeah.
And so being able to do that, just one thing that I have really enjoyed is one of the people I hired, she came to me and she said, I just really want to learn about CRMs, and I know we use Element. And I was like, perfect. I am implementing a lot of new things right now because Element's constantly coming out with new things. I said, so being able to teach her and seeing how her brain is working with it has
Yeah.
been really cool, because she has really taken it and is looking at her processes, her personal ones, with her task and her job. And is starting to be like, well, what about this? And it's like, oh, yeah, why not? Like, so having a full team has allowed me to really dive more into Element and get that
That's
going.
awesome.
So,
Yeah. It gives you a little more bandwidth.
hmm
And
hmm
that's really cool to see. You put your efforts for a little bit of time in creating, training and enablement and buy-in, and then you're able to see, kind of like that compound interest, right? The more people you get
yes.
involved, the more benefits you're able to yield from it. That's awesome.
hmm
Speaking of yielding benefits and results, I know for a fact that you guys have seen some increases with enrollments and
Yes.
engagements across the board. We will want to get into what have those looked like from a numbers perspective for you guys, but I
hmm
wanted to start off actually with talking about what were the behaviors and the things that you put into place that you think that were able to kind of drive those, right? So for
hmm
initiatives or campaigns that you were able to do, what
hmm
were some of those that you put into place where you finally started to see, the ticker going in the opposite direction in a good way?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, of course, we all know the ebb and flow of higher education anyway. But I think we went back to grassroots efforts and really were in the community, and started using Element for this targeted messaging. I started using forms, started using event sign up throughout the whole school, not just in admissions. So having that collaboration from the whole school of, yes, I may teach, but I can recruit. This is my program. And, having that backup from and that collaboration from the Division of Learning has made all the difference. And so I think when we all just decided to focus on, doing as much as we can to reach as many people, that really made a difference. So I think as a big thing, that's probably what I would say. So,
It's about how you're positioning COA too, because I remember we had Chris on the podcast earlier this year, and she was talking about how you all are really trying to be a community resource, right? And opening your doors and providing value to the community that maybe you don't traditionally associate with a college or an institution. And I know you and I had kind of talked about that as well. So what are some of the initiatives that you had put in place to have people kind of view COA differently or as a resource that might not be expected?
yeah, so we kind of changed our view on things of saying, instead of come to COA, come to COA, it was, what do you need? What can we help with? What is our community's needs? Of course, like I said, divisional learning, they're always looking at the job aspect, the career aspect, for programs and those kind of things. When we go to high schools, or if we are, at a community event, it's, do you need help with FAFSA? Well, I'm not going to COA. Well, that's okay. We just want to see you succeed. So adopting that mindset. I tell this story all the time. I had a mom call me this past year, and she said, hey, we spoke to you a while ago last year. And I was like, yeah, I remember. And the year before, I had helped her daughter, and it ended up she wasn't coming to COA. She had done what she could, and she needed to move on to another university. But then she said, we just appreciated you being honest and upfront and just helping her. Now my son's coming through, and so it like organically just leads to people just wanting to at least see what you can do. And a good portion of the time, we have something that can help you. So adopting that mindset has really turned how people might view, the community college, or something like that. So
And this has kind of shifted your recruitment strategy too, because some of the
yes.
events that you've put in Element aren't like traditional recruiting events, right? There may be more community resource
Yes.
event, right?
Yeah. And we're actually planning right now, we're trying to do a big community like resource fair, and,
Ooh,
tying it into events we're already having on campus just because people are already going to come to that. So why would we not just try and give them resources while they're here? If you're here with your family and you see something that says, maybe it's a financial resource, and you're looking at it and saying, oh, well, that's an opportunity. I'm already here. I get to speak to them. So,
right.
yeah, a lot of our events have been just community based of, we want you to come here and get what you want. We don't want to just push whatever we want onto you. So yeah, that's definitely made a difference.
Now, listen, anytime you use the word fair, I think it's a bare minimum requirement that there are funnel cakes involved. Are there going to be funnel cakes at this fair?
Yes.
I am leading up the planning committee, so I will make
Bring
sure.
that up because that's going to be a big people draw. They get the
Right.
smell. They know it's coming. I tell you what, I smell a funnel cake. You got me. I'm in.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I
Listen,
don't care
so
if it's $15. Like you
right,
have to.
give me
Like
that funnel cake.
we're gonna go down a rabbit hole, but I'm in if there are tractor pulls because tractor pulls are my favorite part of the fair. So yeah.
Funnel cakes, tractor pulls. That's the bar that needs to be cleared here
I will be
moving
sure to
forward.
include those.
It's funny though that we talk about this because while it might not be a traditional recruiting event, this is a psychological, like, I don't
Yeah.
want to say trick or something, but almost like a trick because these people are showing up and coming because they have a need and you're providing
Mhm.
that need, and so they're going to associate COA with that need. So I feel like you're
Mhm.
playing the smart mind games on people, getting them onto campus, being like, "Oh, COA helped me with that. Maybe I should double like think
Yeah.
again," and that's something that a lot of institutions can do for sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Definitely a positive mind trick, if you want to put it that way.
Absolutely.
I love that.
All right. Well, we're going to loop back to these results, right? That we've kind of alluded to. So, what's one result that you are just incredibly proud to share that you and your team have been able to achieve? And if you want to share more than that one, you're welcome to. But what's one, right?
We actually hit our highest recruiting number records on record. So this past fall, we did hit that number, and it's just been incredible to see all the work that everyone has just been putting in, and for it to just blatantly show like that. So that's been pretty awesome. So before that, I think it was like 2010 or 2011 that had the highest. And so,
Whoa.
yeah, so for us to get back to that kind of numbers and to still see it growing, it just shows that there is a need.
Yeah.
And it's really cool that we get to be the ones to offer a resource to help fulfill that need.
So this is like kind of apex and trending still in the right direction, which is great.
Mhm.
But did you notice kind of like a turning point? Because correct me if I'm wrong, there was a point where it was trending the opposite direction. And then when did
Yes.
you start to see that turn up?
Yeah, so I have only been with COA for about 2 years. So
Yeah.
right before I was able to come onto the team,
Yeah, the
it
answer
was.
is when they hired me. That's when things turned around, Brittany. Yes, yeah. In your next job interview, you can
Don't
have that
worry.
one.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll brag on you 4 years for you. Okay.
Oh man. Yeah, well, so I can't exactly speak to that down point, but it has been great to see all the things that have been implemented since I've been able to come on, and just being able to be a part of the community. It is weird because I'm an introvert at heart. I love, just being at home, and don't ask me to go home because I will, so
Right.
it's one of those.
I
Go big or
saw
go
those.
home. I will choose go home. When you're out in public and they're like, "Oh, you're that lady from COA," and you're like, "Yeah." So
No, that's I
right,
don't know
right.
her.
It has been nice though to just be in the community, seeing it grow. If we can help in one way, that's what matters to me. So
Hmm.
What about some some other departments or plans for the future that you're thinking about, Brittany? I know you've got a solid foundation now. It seems like the
Mhm.
numbers are trending up. The pressure is on now for your job security.
Right.
What other departments or teams are you thinking about bringing in, if any, or future plans that you have for Element?
So to be honest, we're already doing that. Yes. So with admissions, collaborating with every other department is kind of necessary, I feel, because if you're not, then you're probably not giving the best resources that you can. In saying that, with our forms, one of the deans just asked me literally like 2 weeks ago. She was like, "Hey, I'm going to this high school and I'm doing like a lunch and learn kind of thing. Can you just create a form for me just to, have them fill it out and then send me the results?" And I was like, yes, that takes me like 2 minutes. Like, I can definitely do that. And now I have them in my system for us to start reaching out to.
Awesome.
So, things like that, or our event registrations. Our deans do host, like big days for people to come and look at their areas. So like a health science day, manufacturing day, those kind of things. And some of them are already using Element for the registrations. Those have already been happening. And then of course our college and career readiness, they are actually using our application portion of Element.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, and it's helped them streamline a lot. It was really fun setting up the application with them, got to know them really well. And, we have a great relationship now. And so just being able to help them with that, and it makes their processes more efficient. They're able to serve those students in different ways. So, yeah, we've already seen all of that start to happen. But, moving into the future, it'll be good to be able to, create segments for deans to be able to say, hey, these are the applicants, instead of having to run 2-3 different reports just to get the same stuff that Element could do in literally 10 seconds. So those are some of the future aspects, moving a lot of the communications from admissions from our system now that we use into Element, all that kind of stuff. So those are the some of the big things. But of course, AI, I I don't get that in any other platform that we have.
We didn't even pay her to say that. We didn't even set her up. Brittany, amazing. Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
we may have a coordinated lunch going to her office at around 1 o'clock. Oh no, just
No.
kidding.
It's the talk of everything, and if you're not using it, you're not being efficient. You're not stepping into the future, and I truly do believe if you're not using AI to help with like student success, you're really missing
Mm.
out on a lot of opportunities to help the students be successful. And so we are really getting into the AI, the bots and the discovery and all that stuff right now. So I am beyond excited for that. So yeah, we actually we're supposed to have a meeting this week of starting to really finalize what the knowledge base, all those things.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm really excited for that.
I love that.
I'm excited for you too. Also, great meeting like the week before break, something excited to get people like,
Yeah.
but when they come back, all the things that you can see, that's awesome. I love
Hmm.
that. All right, Brittany, we've got one more question for you as we
Okay.
wrap up today. It's our podcast tradition. Because the podcast is called In Your Element, we want to know, the listeners want to know, everyone's dying to know, when are you in your element?
I have to say, it's probably just being helping people be successful in their life, and we've kind of talked about it a little bit of when I came on board. They were doing that shift of let's just be a resource, and when I came on board, I was like, oh my gosh, this is phenomenal because this is all I want to do. So being able to do that, no matter what someone has done in the past, whatever situation they're in, or whatever barriers they're kind of facing, whether it's I don't believe in myself enough to do it, or I'm too old, or anything, I don't have the finances, all of that stuff. So just being able to actually give people that one step towards helping them and what their goals and what they consider to be successful in life is phenomenal. And I'm going to go back to Element because, we can't be there 24/7. And so Element, especially with those AI features, gives us different ways for students to communicate with us, because it's already hard to start that conversation if you're thinking about it, especially maybe as an adult learner or even as a high schooler who's unsure, and they're like, I don't think college is for me, but I think I kind of want to check it out. Those whatever somebody's got going on in their mind with that. And so giving them opportunities to just chat a bot instead of having to pick up a phone and call somebody, that excites me, and that allows us to do even more to really help these people achieve their goals and just be successful. So that's probably, I don't mean to tie in Element all the time, but I'm just really excited about the different opportunities it gives me and my team to really be there for students. So
this has been awesome. Brittany, thanks so much for coming on here and talking with us. I just I don't get the privilege to work with you guys as much on the as you use Element as much as Daniella does, but everything I hear through the grapevine is that COA is just absolutely killing it, and that Brittany and her team are killing it. So I just love to hear that you're not stopping, right? You're not getting complacent, but you're like you're on here like, yeah, we're gonna do more AI stuff, and we're gonna be bringing more people in. There's just still such that you almost think, whenever you get any type of new anything, there's like this honeymoon phase where you do this really hard for like a year, and then like it's like, okay, well, we have it, it's working, so it's good enough, right? And there's no good enough with what COA is doing. You guys keep digging at it. So it has been awesome to hear what you're working on and how you continue to build on that. So thank you for talking with us about it today.
Yeah, thank you all for having me, and I always enjoy talking to you all, so thank you again.
In Your Element is part of the Enrollify podcast network. If you like this podcast, chances are you'll like other Enrollify shows too.
Our podcast network is growing by the month, and we've got a plethora of marketing, enrollment, and higher ed technology shows that are jam-packed with stories, ideas, and frameworks, all designed to empower you to be a better higher ed professional.
Our shows help higher ed marketers and enrollment professionals find their next big idea and feature a selection of the industry's best as your host. Learn from Mallory Wilsey, Artis Kadu, Maya Demishkovich, and so many other of your favorite leaders in higher ed.
Enrollify is made possible by Element451, the leading AI-powered, all-in-one student engagement platform, helping institutions create meaningful, personalized, and engaging interactions with students. Learn more at element451.com.